Alrighty. Now let's head over to the game from last night, the Steelers playing, where we just saw Demaryius Thomas single-handedly beat the Steelers, and the Steelers lose again. Fitting? Maybe. But here we go. Let's talk about the Thursday game from last night. So here we go. Steelers at the Vikings, and the Vikings get the win here 36-8, and it seemed like they were just going to blow this team out the entire game, but the spark hit for the Steelers late in the third quarter. They got it done, made it a one-score game, had a chance on the final possession to tie up the game. Unfortunately can't, and the Vikings walk away with a win here. And we'll talk about it all, folks. We obviously know the Chase Claypool. We'll break that down, and I think a lot of people are blaming Chase Claypool a little bit more than they should be. We'll talk about that all. But, I mean, to start this game, I mean, it was Delvin Cook, and really Delvin Cook alone right here, truly getting it done. Delvin Cook, 27 rushes for 205 yards and 2 touchdowns. Man, oh man, let's just watch this highlight tape now, folks. Man, oh man, and this was so great to see once again. Not having Derrick Henry, and there's really been no great running backs consistently. We've seen Jonathan Taylor be really, really good. I'm not knocking Jonathan Taylor. He's finally now the number one running back in the league with rushing yards because Derrick Henry has not been playing. But it was just great to see a great runner, consistent, getting the yards, getting the great touches. I mean, getting 27 rushes. That's what we love seeing. That's what all these big rushing teams truly need to do. And, you know, with Kirk Cousins, well, you know, it was great that Delvin Cook didn't fumble the ball, because we do know that Delvin Cook does fumble the ball a little bit too much, especially this season in the worst situations. And that's why I was a little nervous watching this Vikings team at the end of the game still run the ball with Delvin Cook. I was like, do y'all not know he does fumble when the game is close? I was worried. I was like, if he fumbles, it's going to ruin his entire great performance that we saw. But he held onto the ball. No fumbling here by Delvin Cook. The only turnover was an interception, or 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions. That's what we're saying, folks. Do you not know what we're saying here with this Vikings team being absolutely unclutch? It doesn't matter that they put up great stats like they even did last night, well, in the rushing department. It doesn't matter what stats they put up. They have the worst turnovers at the worst times, folks. And like we were saying with Delvin Cook, I was like, oh, please stop rushing with him, because he's going to fumble. It's going to complete it. We already have a Kirk Cousins interception. It's going to pair very nicely here with the Delvin Cook fumble, and the Steelers will win this game because of those 2 turnovers. But shout out to Delvin Cook for not fumbling the ball here and still going strong here with the running. And I mean, just look at these big holes that he was running through. I mean, this Steelers defense truly could not do anything to stop this man right up the middle here, 15 yards before he even kind of has his first contact here. And he's initiating the contact, lowering his shoulder when he has a shoulder injury. They didn't even think this man was going to be playing this week because of the shoulder injury. And this man is continually lowering his shoulder, initiating the contact 5, 10, 15 yards down the field. I got to give a ton of respect to Delvin Cook. He's not one of the main running backs that we truly respect here on the show because of the fumbling. But man, oh man, last night truly showed why Delvin Cook is a presence here in the NFL. And if he cleaned up the fumbles, folks, he would definitely be A1, tier 1 running back in the league. But once again, the unclutching fumbles, it truly sours our taste. But, I mean, right here, 3rd and 1, looking for him to score the ball, easy peasy, getting out in front of the blockers and just going into the end zone, no big deal. What else we got by this man? What else we got? 23-0 here. Right before halftime, Delvin Cook just running out the clock the final minute. Fantastic. Continuing to run in the second half as well. Continuing to still run dominant right here. 2nd and 9. It picks up like 8.5 yards. Here we go. Another toss right here. Hitting the hole. Staying on his feet. Bingo, bango. Getting dragged down. What else do we get? Just look at this, folks. The vision, the bounce, the outside. Once again, a nice little stiff arm right there. I mean, it's like 10 yards before he even gets touched, folks. So, and then here we go. The bounce to the outside. Switch the ball. 8 yards. No big deal. What was this man averaging a rush here? We had 7.6 yards a rush on average here by Delvin Cook last night. So, Delvin Cook truly got it done. Was a huge story in basically the entire first 3 quarters of this game, and for rightful reasons. 27 rushes, 205 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He also caught a pass for 17 yards as well. All right, but then the Steelers started to come back a little bit here. And why are these all just scoring drives? I want to see all drives here. Here we go. All right. And then the Steelers started to come back. And once again, this website is absolutely trash. They're not even putting up the scores on the website. NFL.com. Trashest website. That is our daily complaint of NFL.com. So there it is. Trash. But here we go. Vikings got out to that big lead. And then the Steelers started to get hot a little bit. They go down and score a touchdown. And they just let kind of, Big Ben air out the ball. Now, Big Ben did not look good at throwing this ball. We're going to watch these highlights too, just to really see, because all those spectacular catches right here, it was really these Steelers receivers having the best game in the kind of final, 2 minutes of the third quarter, all of the fourth quarter, besides Chase Claypool kind of, doing not great things, but we're going to talk about that play in a second, folks. But yeah, Steelers start to come back. Big Ben did not look good. All these balls were really short most of the game. The spectacular catches, and I'm hoping they're going to show them here on the highlight package. I'm just going to skip to the second half. I don't care Big Ben throwing in the first half. We all know it resulted into absolutely nothing. So let's go to these highlights here. Yeah, I mean, it's a 4-minute highlight package, and already a minute into the highlight package, we're immediately advancing to the third quarter. Actually, 33 seconds we're advancing into the 5 minutes left of the third quarter, where they started to throw the ball because they needed to. You're down 29-0 at this point. You've got to do something. And Matt Canada lets Big Ben kind of throw this ball around, and this Vikings defense being absolutely trash, and the Steelers receivers jumping over behind these receivers to come back to the ball. So the receivers truly deserve a lot of the praise for why. And I mean, just like this one, ball underthrown right here. We see the receiver just jump over the defender right here to come back toward this ball. I mean, come on. The receiver had a nice kind of half a step on the defender right there. You put that out in front. Now we're talking. But it's a spectacular catch right here. Brings him down. Let's count the yards on this play, because we obviously know Big Ben's arm is, getting worse as they progress. So let's count. He throws this one from the 30-yard line, gets it all the way down to the 40. So, I mean, it's only 40 yards, folks. It's not like he's airing it out 55 yards. So it kind of seems, is 40 yards Big Ben's max? Because that's really, really not good. And nothing I really want to move forward with. And we obviously know this is his last season. But it's a great catch right there. Absolutely spectacular catch. James Washington, great catch. Let's watch this one in slow motion really quickly right here. Just goes up. High points it. Man, oh man, just absolutely musses the corner right there. But yeah, just coming back. I mean, the receiver in the perfect position to make an interception because it was underthrown. But James Washington, big spectacular catch right there. And, we've seen this Vikings defense get exposed. And if there was any takeaway that the Steelers team and offensive coordinator Matt Canada should have taken away from last week when the Vikings lost to the Lions, was that you should be able to throw whenever you want on this Vikings team. The fact that they let Jared Goff beat them, I'll take a banged up Big Ben like he is this year. I'll take a banged up Big Ben, the triple B, folks. I would take that over Jared Goff any day of the week, folks. So it took this long for them to truly kind of open up the offense and push the envelope. A little bit too little, too late. It was entertaining, but like we said, a little bit too little, too late. Here we go in the red zone. Big Ben, nice little out route once again by James Washington, commanding the respect of the corner, so playing off of him. And then here we go, 3rd and 2. It's going to be Naji Harrison. This was a great read, folks. Watching this play live, I did not think Naji Harrison was open. And when Big Ben threw to him, I was like, ooh, I didn't think anything was open. But then it got through the defender right there. It was perfect by Big Ben. I mean, that's a tight-ass kind of angle to throw this ball, real kind of shallow, with the defender kind of a little bit in front. But he puts it right on the money. And we knew Naji Harris was going to catch this ball if it was a good ball, because we know Naji Harris is good, folks. Remember in the national championship game, the one-handed catch, we broke that man down when we were watching him pre-draft, and I mean, that was great. We knew he was a dual threat running back from that moment on, and he's been getting it done here to truly bring them back. I believe he scored the first 2 touchdowns when the Steelers were coming back in this game. And also shout out Naji Harris because I have him on my fantasy team. He got me 35 points. I'm not predicted to win this week, and we're in the playoffs, first round of the playoffs. I'm the 4th seed. Shout out to me. Yeah, and all my players were with the Dolphins. They're on the bye, and then I have Michael Pittman Jr. and he's on a bye. So my entire starting lineup was on a bye. I had to scramble for garbage players. I'm probably not going to win. I may win because he got me 9 points over projected. So we'll see. But shout out to Naji Harris. Bingo, bango, big time points right here for me. Thank goodness. And if you didn't draft Naji Harris, I drafted Naji Harris first in my league, folks. I'm not playing around with this man. We knew this man was going to be great. And here he is showing his greatness here on the first catch. Bingo, bango. All right, what else do we get here by Big Ben Roethlisberger? Once again, just underthrown ball thrown to Patrick Peterson. He gets burned. A back shoulder throw, it looks like. But he threw this one way too much inside, and the receiver, once again, having to go up and over the receiver here because it's so underthrown. Chase Claypool this time with the great catch. He was making great catches all game long, when they were, making their comeback. Unfortunate with the celebration, but we're going to talk that through, folks. I don't think it's all on Chase Claypool, and I think Chase Claypool has a good argument. Big Ben going deep right here, and it's good. Deontay Johnson, a great catch right here. Let's count the yards on this one. I think this one's a little bit more than 40 yards. So let's see. Big Ben gonna drop back to the 25 and launch this sucker out to the 35-yard line. So we get 25 and 15. Oh, that's only 40 again. So it's truly looking like Big Ben's arm is only 40 yards, folks. I am doing the math right? 25 to the 50, that's 25. 50 to the 35, that's 15. Yeah, that's 40 yards, and that's really his max. So Big Ben's arm is 40 yards. Taysom Hill's max is like 45 yards, and that's the biggest knock that we have on Taysom Hill, folks. You cannot be a starting quarterback by having a minimum of a 50-yard ball, and you really honestly need a 55-yard at minimum ball, and Big Ben is not really showing that, so not great. Big Ben going deep right here. Once again, another little 40 ball. He's going to throw this one from the 40, and this was good. This was a good strike here. Let's watch this one more time. Yeah, he's going to throw from the 40, get it all the way right down to the front of the end zone, and this is a really great catch as well. Really thrown in double coverage. But it's James Washington just, again, going up and getting this ball. These receivers deserved all the praise right here. That's a great mother-loving catch. And it's actually a good thrown ball. It's high where only the receiver can go up and play it. And he makes a spectacular catch, man. And this is what the Steelers' offense should have been right from the rip, from game one. These receivers, the high point of the offense. That's why we didn't need Big Ben to revert to, like, vintage Big Ben this year, because they had the weapons. But they really haven't been giving them the chances down the field like they were forced to in this game. And we see what happens when you just let them open it up. Believe in Big Ben. Let this man air it out for as long as he can. So these receivers were just truly getting it done here. And once again, this Vikings defense is just so atrocious, folks. Yes, the Vikings won this game, but we're back to zero believability, zero bettability on this Vikings team. This is not a big turnaround game of our Vikings decision. Nothing really like that. And once again, this was a great throw by Big Ben. An absolutely amazing throw. Right down the freaking middle of the field. Put it absolutely perfectly. 40 yards. Bingo, bango. Man, oh man, great catch as well. Here we go. Big Ben back in the red zone right here. Nice little out route right there, and that's Pat Freiermuth. Bango, bango, trying to lead the comeback down 16, 4 minutes left. A big touchdown there, and Pat Freiermuth is going to have the potential game-tying touchdown catch, or the potential to the game-tying catch. Here we go, down 10 right here, and there's Deontay Johnson there for the 2-point conversion. They make it an 8-point game. Then we get Big Ben loading up again, going deep, and there's the flag. Let's count the yards on this one. Another big down the field throw, looking about 40 yards. Let's just say we'll call this one from the 2. There's the 2. We'll round it up to the 5, and it gets down to the 45-yard line. So this was like 45, 43-ish yards right there. Good, but once again, kind of 40. It's better than 40, obviously, but it's still kind of like 40 max, folks. And then here's the big old play that everybody's talking about, the slant route to Chase Claypool. Let's watch this video because it's a little bit more clear, and we can play around with it a little bit more easier. So here we go. It's 4th and 1. They obviously need to pick up the first down. They're still down 8 points. They hit Chase Claypool on a nice little slant route. It's wide open. Bingo, bango. That's a full yard of separation right there. Big Ben puts it on the money, secures the grab, and this is where all the controversy is coming from now. He gets taken down right here. He's down. Clock is running. They don't have any timeouts, so they've got to get up to the ball and spike it. Now, I understand. Yes, Chase Claypool should not have celebrated and should have just gotten up immediately and put the ball down. But he does make a few good points. He had a nice. He spoke to the press after the game and was basically like, "Yeah, well, I celebrated, but I knew I was on the right hash and the ball was going to be placed right here. He's already basically where the ball is going to be placed. Also, they're moved about 5-6 yards down the field, so it's not gonna excuse me there. A couple of throat clears to finally get the job done. But Chase Claypool right here, like 6 yards down the field. So the Steelers offense is going to take not that much. It's not like a 20-yard run down the field. It's like a 6 yards, couple of steps. But he's already on the right hash. So I understand that. Like, hey, I know I shouldn't be celebrating, but I did celebrate. It's a big 4th down pickup. And, he is already on the right hash, so he doesn't have to move that far, so he can get a quick celebration in, and then by the time the celebration is kind of done, everybody's already up to the line. They just have to, place the ball. So here we go. Let's kind of take this frame by frame. Chase Claypool gets up. Vikings player is trying to take the ball out of his hands to try to, egg out some more time there. Chase Claypool gets the celebration off, the nice little, first down, and then he immediately gets up. And as soon as he gets up, a Steelers player is already at him. So now Chase Claypool is going to, hand the ball to the receiver. And let's quickly see how much time went off the clock before. So, all right, down with 38 seconds left, right? Down with 38 seconds. Then he goes and celebrates, and that's a second off the clock. We're at 37 seconds. Another second for the celebration. That's off the clock, and now he's getting up. So about 3 seconds of celebration before the Steelers player got up to where the ball would have been placed. Now is where everybody's keeping track of the time, but I don't think we should put all this time on Chase Claypool because Chase Claypool knew it was going to be placed on the right hash, so it's not like he was on the right hash. They're going to place it on the left hash, so he has to get up and move all that. It's everybody has to really come to where he is because he's right where the ball is going to be placed. So 35 seconds left now. Chase Claypool is up, going to move towards the right hash, which is like a step behind him. He turns around looking for the ref now, and another Steelers player knocks the ball out of his hands because he's trying to be like, hey, give this ball to the ref. Now, it's good that he's doing this because, yes, it's a nice heads-up play, but Chase Claypool knew what to do, and the ref was right there. The ref was a step behind the player that knocked out the ball of Chase Claypool's hands, folks. So Chase Claypool would have handed him the ball right there, and really no extra time would have ran off the clock, and the Chase Claypool celebrating after the touchdown wouldn't have been a story at all, folks. It wouldn't have been a story at all. So Chase Claypool gets the ball knocked out of his hands because of another player thought Chase Claypool didn't know what he was doing. And once again, what do they say about assuming, folks? You can't really assume. So Chase Claypool, yes, he shouldn't have celebrated after the first down, but, it's all momentum. It's all about energy, and, I want my receivers energized. I don't think I'm punishing Chase Claypool for celebrating right there, especially since he knew what he was doing. It was another Steelers player that knocks the ball out of his hands, and that sets off the 5-6 seconds where everybody's kind of putting that loss of time on Chase Claypool, and I do agree that is, another extra play. I will give y'all, everyone's classifying, 5-6 seconds, that's another extra play. I do give y'all that. They did lose out on another extra play, but I don't believe all the time should be on Chase Claypool. And then after they spiked the ball, Chase Claypool back to celebrating. He's like, y'all cut my celebration short. I'm still going to get my celebration off, though. Y'all not going to stop me from celebrating. And then I love Naji Harris right here. We always talk about leadership. He goes and, goes up to Chase Claypool like, hey, dude, relax a little bit. We're still down. We're still losing. Once again, great leadership by Naji Harris. But overall, I don't believe Chase Claypool deserves all the hate that he's getting. If I'm going to put it out of 100%, I'm going to put a number to it, folks. Everybody's putting it 100% on Chase Claypool, and I'm only going to put it 20%. 20%. They would have clocked the ball. If the ball did not get knocked out of Chase Claypool's hands, they clocked the ball probably at 30 seconds. They're able to place the ball at 33 seconds when Chase Claypool hands the ball to the ref before it gets knocked out. Once again, the ball got knocked out and the ref came at the same time. So this is regardless of what Chase Claypool did after the play, it would have been 33 seconds when the ball hits the ground. They probably clock it at 30 seconds. But because the ball gets knocked out of his hands, they have to clock the ball at 35 seconds. Ball is spotted at like 30 seconds. So I'm putting it 20% on Chase Claypool, 20% on Chase Claypool, 80% on the other guy that thought he knew best. And it's unfortunate. Now, this other play, I forget who knocked the ball out of the Steeler Chase Claypool's hands. I apologize. But Chase Claypool, he was kind of celebrating a lot in this game, and Mike Tomlin already talked to him, so I get it. That's where kind of that came in, where the Steelers player was like, hey, this dude truly doesn't know what he's doing. I got to get the ball out of his hands and be like, hey, we've got to clock this ball. But overall, I don't think he deserves all the blame. And that's really what it came down to. And then the final play, great defense. I mean, the Vikings defense won the game, honestly, at the end, because the final play, that really should have been a touchdown catch by Pat Freiermuth in the back of the end zone, unfortunately was not, because it was broken up by the Vikings defender. Let me see if I can bring this play up quickly right here. Once again, this website's trash. We can't just go to the play, and I couldn't save the play because whenever you click off of the tab, it refreshes the next time you click on the tab. So it's a great throw. It's an absolutely great throw by Big Ben, a great thread the needle throw, exactly where it needed to be. But then it was the punch out by the linebacker. I'm blanking on the name here. Let me look up the name. I know what the name is. It's Harrison Smith. Yeah, Harrison Smith, the great veteran here, great veteran linebacker, comes and punches the ball out, and we're gonna get the best look. Is it right here? I think it's right here. So Pat Freiermuth. I mean, look at this catch. I mean, that's right in his hands. Excellent throw there by Big Ben, folks. This would have been the touchdown to put them down 2 points. And then Harrison Smith comes over and knocks out the ball. He knocked out the ball. It's not Pat Freiermuth just dropping the ball or the big hit that came in that jarred the ball loose. It was the punch over the top. This is the better look right here. Yeah, right there. The punch comes in and he punches out the ball. Man, oh man. Harrison Smith saves the day for the Vikings, and Pat Freiermuth, this close to being shot out on Tight End University, folks. So close. Let's quickly run down these final stats, and then we will move off of Thursday Night Football and head over to our picks right here. So here we go. Big Ben, he went 28 of 40. 28 of 40 was slinging the ball around in the second half. Is that 78? Is that 70%? 28 of 40? Damn, 70% throwing, 308 yards, 3 touchdowns to pick. What happened on his interception right here? Only interception by Big Ben results into 3 points by the Vikings. Sheesh. Still would have lost, obviously. They lose by 8, and that touchdown, it wasn't even a touchdown, so unfortunate there. Rushing game, Naji Harris, 20 rushes for 94 yards and a touchdown. Then who was Big Ben throwing to? We had Chase Claypool, 8 catches for 93 yards. Deontay Johnson, 5 catches for 76 yards. James Washington, 4 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown. Ray McLeod, 6 catches, 32 yards. Pat Freiermuth, 2 catches, 32 yards, a touchdown. So close to 2 touchdowns. And then Naji Harris, 3 catches for 10 yards and that touchdown. Shout out to that. And then for the Vikings, Kirk Cousins goes 14 of 31. 14 of 31, 45%. 216 yards, I'll give him that, on 14 completions. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, under 50% throwing, 2 interceptions. Now you know why you run the ball 27 times with Delvin Cook, yeah? So 2 interceptions by Kirk Cousins. First interception comes in the third quarter, and the Steelers go down and score a touchdown. Second interception by the Vikings. Steelers go down and score a touchdown. So that was great. 14 points out of turnovers by the Vikings. You love to see it. And then for the rushing attack, like we said, Delvin Cook, 27 rushes for 205 yards and 2 touchdowns. Alexander Madison, we love seeing this man, 6 rushes for 27 yards as well. He was still getting it done. Kirk Cousins took off twice for 14 yards. And then who was Kirk Cousins throwing to? We had KJ Osborne, leading receiver, 3 catches for 83 yards and a touchdown. Justin Jefferson, 15 targets, only 7 receptions. I mean, the ball was kind of going off of his fingertips all game long. Justin Jefferson, 7 receptions for 79 yards and a touchdown. Tyler Conklin, 2 catches, 20 yards. Delvin Cook, 1 catch, 17 yards. And Chris Herndon, 1 catch for 17 yards. So Steelers, a great game, totality-wise, entertaining, comeback from behind. We all love seeing that. Vikings hold on to win. They get the 3 points. They win that. No big deal. They win outright. So if you bet the Vikings, you win. You bet them +3. You win. Or no, they were -3, right? We got this Steelers +3. That's what it was. Steelers +3. So Vikings, they cover the -3. They cover the straight up, all of that. Vikings get the win 36-28.